Hello guys, this is my demo 4 and for today's topic I'm going to discuss error handling. So error handling is a very important concept for our project because if an unexpected error occurs, we don't want to show our customers some random task taken or stack trace, for random stack trace and all. So I will show you. So let me open my Postman. Uh, So let me show you an example of an error and how we don't want to show that to our customer. So we need to handle those errors in our part in our project so that those errors either should be handled or should be conveyable to customers so that message should be like something is wrong with our system. We'll try again later, something like that. So let's first do some API calls. First, we'll get a token first. Yeah, username, password. Yeah, I think that's it. We'll get a token. Yes, we'll use this token. Let's create a order. Yeah, transaction. Uh, the body, the headers. It's change the request ID 22, and let's send the request. So here the request is created and we got the ID. Suppose for example, the customer has not paid, and let me show you an example. Suppose we are without paying, I'm capturing the order. Let's just try, and also I have to copy paste the token. Where is it? Capture. Notice that I have not paid, I have not done the payment, and now I will try to capture the order. And as you can see, it's a very big error, unnecessary information for to the customers because the customer should not see this the name unforeseeable entity details of the error order not approved and description and link href method is all customer don't have to see that customer can just we just have to send a message that something is wrong with our system and we have to handle this error internally. So for that error handling is very important. So let me tell you what I have implemented. First, so there are steps to implement error handling. So from the source of the error handling, that is maybe PayPal, it may be from client side, application side, server error, anything. It can be anything. So let me explain with a diagram. So this is the HTTP service engine. Let it be HTTP service engine. This is the PayPal system, and these are our services, our PayPal services. Okay, so we send requests through the SVP service engine, right? Yes. I recently switched to Linux, so it's a good experience, I would say. Let's continue. So this is the HTTP service engine. All the request passes through the HTTP service engine, and then we get the response from PayPal. Here, what happens? For example, we get error like just I just showed you. Yeah, something like this. We get an unprocessable entity. The error is 402 422 unprocessable entity. So first error happens is that will be happening at HTTP error. So here we need to handle. Where do I text? Okay, where do I? Yeah, text box. Yeah. Okay, we will. I will just say it. So The main source of the problem can be from the HTTP service engine, where we can get a 400 responses in 400, which basically is maybe a client error, or there is something impossible entity, just like, or there is a problem in the ID. Those all will come under 400s, and it can be bad request 400, 401, bad request, and many things. And also the error can be 500, which let me show you. They also mentioned it in the documentation. Here, API responses, yes. So as you can see here, these are the successful response we can expect from them. 200 okay, 201 created, 202 accepted, and here the failed responses which we can expect from them. 400 bad request, 404 not found, method not allowed, anything. So the API related issues, API related error handling should be handled in the HTTP service engine itself. So as you can see here, these are the 500 state scores. We can now get an error as 500 internal server error, or we can get an error 503 service unavailable. So one more type of error we can get is gateway timeout. For suppose request is going from here. Where is it? Yeah. So for example, request is going from here, and we expect a response within 2 minutes or 1 minute, but it takes more than 1 minute or 2 minutes. So we can get a error as gateway timeout. So that is also an error we have to consider. So in that case, we will have to try again to send the request to the PayPal server so that we can get the response again. So we need to handle that too, along with the 500 status code and many statuses from 400 bad request, not found, not acceptable, unprocessable entity, what we just saw, unprocessable entity, and too many requests. So I have already handled that. Error handling, we can so here I will show you. So this is the error handling handled by the Spring itself. So Spring itself handles the error. I mean, this is the response provided by the PayPal, but Spring also handles an error. Let me show you. I mean, I cannot exactly show you because I have already implemented here uh, PayPal, I mean, exception handling here. As you can see, I have created a class for PayPal provided exception where we'll just send error code, error message, and HTTP status. So we'll get the error code, error message, and HTTP status. So let me give an example. For example, let me go to service time. So here, let's let's create a string that is null. String, string is equal to null. And let's say we give error here. Int length is equal to or dot length. So first I will show you the classes I have implemented. First is a custom exception handler. First, this is a class PayPal provider exception where I pass the error code, error message, and HTTP status. And this is the exception handling class. So here I handle the PayPal provider exception. As you can see, I have annotated with exception handler, PayPal provider exception, and here, see, as you can see here, from the error, I pass the message, error code message, and HTTP status. And here I have created a response entity to store these values, error code, error message, and HTTP status. And okay, and here we are returning the response entity. And also we are handling the global exception, these are the exceptions which may occur unexpectedly, or we may have missed to handle, where it will come here and then we'll just throw an unknown error and return an response entity with unknown error. As you can see, I have created a enum constants to specify all the errors. So instead of creating a new constants every time, like different messages for every error, it will be very big. So I just created a constant enum so that I can pass this value. As you see here, PayPal error code, that is the enum class name, and from PayPal error code I'm accessing unknown error, and from that unknown error I'm getting that code. So you can see unknown error and I'm getting 4,000 unexpected error occurred. So the reason, let me tell you an extra thing. The reason we are using a 400, 4,000, sorry, for a 4 and 4 zeros, this is a specific code we have decided. So each service, I mean, there are so many error handlers, right? We have three services. We'll be implementing three services: PayPal provider service, uh, validation service, and also processing service. So in future, in order to pinpoint where the error is from, so for each service, we have given a simple code so that we can identify that this error is from that service. So for this PayPal provider service, we have used uh, four and four zeros. So whenever an error occurs by the code four triple zero one or 40006 or 40005, like you mentioned here, we will know that the error is from uh, PayPal provider service. So I've created both the classes to handle custom exceptions and also unexpected exceptions. And as you can see in payment service IMPL, here we have not handled the error. We will not handle the error. We will see the reaction. So without handling the error, I have given a string as null and we are accessing null. So we should give a null pointer exception. So let's go to the postman. Here, create an order. Right. I can just use this ID. I can just use this ID which I just got, and I can get order details from here. Okay, I'm not running this. Let me run the application. Okay, so let's get the order. Yeah, so here we have see that we did not handle the error and we are getting an error code of 4 and 4 zeros with an unexpected error occurred because we have not handled that and we are identifying it as internal server error. And when you see the ID, you can see the actual error, that is null pointer exception. Cannot invoke string length because word is null. Simple. We have not handled it, and instead of giving some random null pointer exception in this stack trace to the customer, we have just simply handled and say unexpected error occur, try again later, anything. And we can see in the logs or even this console that we have a cardinal pointer exception. And now we will handle it. So if word is equal to null, right? We'll throw a new PayPal provider exception, right? PayPal provider exception. So PayPal provider exception, and it is a null point error. So let's see which code satisfies the conditions. If I have created unable to not this fund and it is a PayPal error, unexpected error occurred. Okay, let's create a one more temp error. Uh, just change that one. Yeah, we'll use this one. Instead of payment failed, we'll just give it a name as null error. All right, null error, and we can give it a code. So it's similar code. It is a string 4001. Let's give it 4001, and we can just specify it as uh, the string is null. So now if we use this, we can just go here and we can access that from PayPal error code dot. We just gave the name as null error, and we'll get the code from there. And again, PayPal error code dot null error and get message. The message we have passed as the string is null. Here you can see the string. I'm giving it as null, and we'll pass the HTTP dot internal server error. Exactly. So this is the error we are gonna throw, and we should see a different response from the postman. All right, let's try, and again we'll okay, I have to rerun. Okay, now my postman should give a different response. Yeah, as you can see, now that we have handled the error, we got the response error what we needed. Error code 4001. The string is null and it is the internal server error. Now we know here we have handled the error and we know exactly what is wrong here. So that's why error handling is very important. So let me delete this and okay. So in HTTP service engine, as you can see, we have discussed that we have surrounded the HTTP service engine from where we make HTTP call in try catch block. So we will try the code here. Okay, we will try the code here. If the response is okay, we'll return it. Or if we catch any client error exception or HTTP server error exception, this part of code will run. We'll log the error. After logging the error, we get the status code. And if the status code, and in that there are specific there are specific errors we need to handle. So if it is a service unavailable, so not all client error and server error are something which cannot be resolved because client error is error from client, so which can be resolved. And some things we need to handle separately. So if it is a service unavailable or it is a gateway timeout, as we discussed, so we need to throw a different error for that, and that is unable to connect PayPal. Unable to connect to PayPal, as you can see, the error we have given error code, and we have given the message that unable to connect to PayPal. Please try again later. So for other remaining errors, we will just return a response status entity. Let me show you one more thing. So because we are not handling it here because we should handle it in the specified respective methods in the create order or get order. So the main purpose of HTTP service engine we are handling is service unavailable or gateway, and also at last any unexpected error. As we discussed, the timeout error, so if we encounter a timeout, then we can just, or any other unexpected error which we did not handle, it will all go under here, and then we can check what is wrong by checking the logs and console. Okay, so now we are sure that we will get either success response or failure response, and we'll return that response as it is to the service IMPL. So let me show you an example. Here, as I have created an order, this is the ID. Let me send it again. Okay, so you can see pair action is required, but when I capture it here, when I capture it here, so you can see the error was unprocessable entity and it still is. And we'll capture the same ID here. Get order. Okay. let me remind you, we have not handled any errors in the capture order. So that's why we are getting this. See, we are getting a empty body because it ran through here. It ran through here. Okay, let me also explain you debugging along with this. So it will be much easier to explain. With debugging, we'll do a breakpoint here, breakpoint here, and breakpoint in the return. Okay. So, and now when I capture the request, see it stopped here. Okay, good. So now let's step over. We'll just resume it. Yeah, program is stopped there. We'll resume it. Yeah, as you can see, after resuming it, the run the runtime is stopped here because it is a 404 error which we encountered here. As you can remember, 422 unprocessable entity. It is a client error exception. So it caught that exception here. Now it will return this body. It will return this body to service IMPL capture method. Let me resume it and you will see. See, exactly that is happening. We are resuming. We are returning that exact body in here. So that's why, as we have not handled it in the capture order, which we will do now. So that's why we are getting an empty body. So let me make it run. Let me stop the debugging. Okay, I will remove the breakpoints. Now you see that the try catch block is working, and we'll now move to implementing the uh, error handling in create order and capture order. Uh, I will explain it as we go through it. First, let's implement things on capture order. Okay. Uh, so here we are calling the prepare stupid question capture. Make a script call. Here we are getting a response entity and we are getting that body from that response entity. And in create order, we have not implemented it. For get order, only we have implemented things for get order. Let me show you another thing. What if we change the something or something else TMP done. Okay, I will show you that in get order itself. What if we do some error, create some error in the ID itself? As you can see, I have not handled the error because we get a specific error for we get a response from PayPal, right? So we get a different response for different errors. So we will handle it should be handled in the validation service. So for now, we are just it's supposed to give a dynamic value. So I have just made sure that I'm returning the error when the ID is wrong. So instead of a empty body like in capture, which we got previously, because I have not implemented error handling there, I have implemented only in get order. So here you can see that's how we'll implement the same thing in capture order too, because as you see, we have given a wrong ID and we got the error, not phone message. Error message dynamically generated PayPal error because the response is something else that should be dynamically generated. So and it will be handled in validation service. So let's do the same thing for capture and create order. Okay. Capture order, yeah. So here we are receiving the, wait, where is, yeah, here we are receiving the entity, response entity, and now we'll implement our logic here. If uh, response body dot, okay, what was it? It's the same thing. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm getting it wrong because we are returning the response entity here. So from that response entity, we'll check if the uh, status code is 200 okay or is it something else. If uh, uh, response entity dot get status code is equal to stp status dot okay, that's it. Yeah. If the status code is okay, then we'll implement some logic here. So we'll implement this entire logic. If the status is okay, we'll implement this entire logic here. All right. We'll implement this entire logic here, and let's walk through. Let's walk through the step we just did. So we got the response entity from the HTTP call, and we are checking if the response entity get status code is HTTP okay. If it is okay, we'll just go as it is, uh, which we used to, and we'll execute this. So it also has two cases because when we are getting an okay, so we are also assigning that to the from which JSON utility we are processing that response. So either in that response, let's suppose we get an HTTP OK status, uh, and we get an invalid ID or invalid status. So as you can see, we are only made to handle the OK response. So in case we get a negative response, as we got here, we have not yet made any classes to process this. So as you can see here, there is no ID and there is no status at all. So in case that happens, we need two cases. So where I will show you here, as you can see, the method was, yeah, the method was, okay, yeah, the method was JSON utility of from JSON. Okay, from JSON, yeah. So as you can see, first of all, we were making it as null. So in case we get the same null value in the return response, we have to handle that too. So inside this response status, we will also create another if condition after we get the response body from the JSON utility, and that is capture responses. So if capture response is not equal to null and capture response dot get ID also is not equal to null and capture response dot get status is not equal to null, and we'll shift the below logic here. So let's walk through what we did. As you see from JSON method, we are initiating the response as null. So in case we get the response from the JSON utility as null, we are handling that. And also the main things we need is the ID and the status. So in capture response, the main thing we need is ID and status. So we need to get the ID from the output and also status if it is approved or if it is completed. If it is completed, then the transaction is successful. The client can have the product. If it is approved, then we need to capture it so that the transaction can be successful. So the only two things which are necessary, that is get ID and get status. We are we are considering that, we are checking that if it's not null, and along with if the capture response is not null. Okay. And with the same thing for the get order, we are getting if it is the response body from the JSON utility, that is get order is not null, and along with get ID is not null, and also get status is not null. Yeah, and same we will shift the code here. I'll shift and how do I format it? I will worry about it later. And now we need to handle other cases. So inside, if status is okay, we handle that. And inside status is okay if the response body is not null, and we have handled the all successful response. That is, we get the response as what is it? We get the response as 200. Okay, we get the valid ID, and we get a valid status. That is the success response, what we need. And in case the response is 200, okay. In case the response is 200, okay, and we get invalid or null ID and invalid or null status, we will log the error here. Log dot error. What was it? Capture response. So 200, okay, response with invalid ID and status. We'll lock the error here and we'll pass the capture response body to say capture response. Yeah. Okay. How do I do it? There's something that I don't remember. Format. Okay, let's ask ChatGPT. Uh, Format would IntelliJ. Preferences before the code. Okay, I will I will do that after this demo. Let's just focus on the topic now. Redirect URL. Okay, so in case we're getting a same okay response and we're getting a invalid idea status, we log the error here. And now for the main part, the main error we handled was, yeah, now apart from 200, what are the possible errors we can get? So as we saw from the paper in the responses, let's go refer the documentation in the orders, yeah, in the orders and in the capture payment order. It is loading. Yeah, okay. Capture. Yeah. So this is the capture order API, and we can see the responses. We get it 200 or 201, and we can get 200, 403, 404, 422. So these are the errors we can get, and also we should handle the errors from the server side too. So basically, we can get anything from the 4xx, 400s or 500s. And there is another response, 201, successful response to non-notification. What is the source capture payment? Duplicate response will retire. Yes, take it 200 by default, the response member will the source capture. Okay, this is 201, 200 of which is not one created. Okay, so the first time it captures, it goes 201 created. If the JSON the body was captured, if a duplicate response is retried, returns is to be okay. Okay, we'll debug that when we execute it. Uh, let's go here. Okay, so now we know that we have to handle 4xx, 5xx errors here, and let's get into it. What was the response body name? Response entity. If response entity dot get status code is equal to uh, http status dot 4. What was the method name we refer here? Okay, I think it is dot get status dot is, yeah, here it is 4xx error or if response entity dot get status code dot is 5xx error. So the first thing is log the error. Uh, Error response from response entity. Uh, Response entity error 400, 500, 4xx, 5xx error response. Okay. Now after logging, we will throw the error now. So new payment for reception here, and let's see what are the codes we have provided for that. PayPal error, exactly. So we will get a dynamic response because there's so many 400 error codes, 500 error codes. So we will use this one, PayPal error. Okay. So here we will use name PayPal error code dot PayPal error dot get code, exactly. PayPal error code dot PayPal error dot get message. Get the message and we'll pass it as Okay, so if it is a 400 or 500, we need to pass that exact HTTP status. So what I use here, uh, response, you got get status code dot value, and I think covered it. HTTP status dot value of, and use it here. Yep. So we are passing the error as it is. Here we are catching if the status code is 4xx, our status code is 5xx, and then we are logging the error, and then we are throwing the custom exception using the paper forward exception custom class we created, and in that we are passing the error code 4006, I think, and the other message that is dynamically generated, and we will handle that in validation service. And also the HTTP status from the response entity which we got by making the HTTP call, we are passing the exact HTTP status there. Okay, so now that we have handled it, now final we need to throw any unexpected errors uh, to the capture order method. So we'll first log here, log dot. Okay, so if it is, let's see, if it is neither HTTP, okay. We also get 201, right? Okay, so I need to add one more R response entity dot get status code is equal to HTTP status dot changes create 201 is created. Okay. So we will log the error if it is neither is it if it is neither a OK response that is 200 or created response that is 201, and it is neither from the either it is neither from 4x's 400s or neither 500s. You can get a response from 10 or 100s or any other course. So we will handle them here. Uh, unexpected unexpected error occurred. um, will pass the response for responsibility entity. And then we will throw the error through new PayPal forward exception. And here PayPal error code dot unknown error. Yeah, we have already created a constant unknown error. And PayPal error code dot unknown error dot get message, and we'll pass it as a internal server error because we do not know what the error is in case we catch an unexpected error. Let's see. We'll pass HTTP status dot internal server error. So we'll pass the internal server error. Now our capture order is handled with logging and all properly. And let's test it. I will rerun my program. Let's test it from the Postman. Okay, nice. We'll go here and what's the ID? Okay, this is not the ID. This is the ID. Yeah. So earlier we were getting an unprocessable entity. Let's go here and let's try to capture it. Yeah, amazing. As we can see, before earlier we were getting an empty body. Now we are getting an exact response what we needed. That is dynamically generated PayPal error. As you can see, it was a body we have not handled it because we are not processing it in the in our service that in PayPal provider service. We will handle it in validation service. So it can be various errors, right? Every error has different description and different issue. So we need to handle it dynamically. As you can see, now we got the same error that is 422 unprocessable entity and 422 unprocessable entity, and it is a dynamically it should be dynamically handled and with error proper error code for 0006 unprocessable entity. So here we have successfully implemented error handling in capture order. So let's test it for the OK response which we need. So let's get the details from and we will test the successful response now. We also need to test the successful response to see if it is fully working. Let's get the order details. Okay, peer action required, and we have got a link. Let's go to that link, and we'll do the successful payment. Not find the password. Okay, here it is, $1. We'll complete the purchase. So let's go and we need to test it in the Postman. Now we should get a successful response. That is exactly we got the response we wanted. ID status completed. Let's do it again and again to see if it is working. Amazing, it is working as we intended. So after even multiple responses, we are getting the same response, successful response. Okay, so we have successfully implemented the error handling for capture order. Let's see how much time has passed. Okay, so that's it for my demo. And okay, I had some doubts about the error handling, but now that I have explained it and I have implemented it, I am very confident. And um, okay, guys, so that's it. And here I end my demo.